everybody. My name is Jeff Crane. I'm with Tokenize here in Las Vegas, 2024 with Enzo Ballani. And we're with Alpha Liquid Terminal. And, it's been years, Enzo. Was down in Puerto Rico. I remember bumping into you. Yeah. You've been around quite some time.
Well, I think next year it's going to be 10 years.
Is that right?
In crypto full-time. I bought Bitcoin back in 2014 a little bit, like, just because I wanted to understand it. And I looked at Mt. Gox and I was doing all that stuff. But to me, it was like a toy. I didn't really understand what was actually happening. And then I realized, really after kind of Ethereum and the ICOs started happening, I was like, wait a second, this is like a clearing and settlement system. And being a person that has like a markets background, I was like, I got to enter this market. And I was running a company that was in the financial content space, and I had a trading platform attached to it. And I tried to get my board to allow me to start a crypto platform. And they were like, no. And I was like, well, I'm done. I'm done with TradFi after doing it for 25 years. So I'm going to go do this. Wow. So I called up Turpin. He was the only person I knew in the space. And he's like, well, why don't you come over here and help me on my advisory, become my head of strategy. And what was really interesting was I looked at his, actually I was like, it's a PR company, it's a strategy company. I just looked at his client list that he sent me. And I was like, Michael, do you know that it's like 50% of the altcoin markets you've done work for, like you've helped launch? And he was like, yeah, I guess he never really calculated.
Sure, yeah.
And, of course he did a lot of projects with Brock.
Yeah,
Dot.
right.
They're really,
it was on everybody's deck.
Yeah, that was on everyone's deck. Yeah,
yes.
And he was always doing the PR or some advisory work.
Totally.
And I was like, wow, this is insane that he's had such a big impact. So I joined and I got to meet everyone. Great time and really innovative. The one thing I would say to folks is always, because people come from TradFi or FinTech and they go into this space, they're always like, well, we're going to do it the right way. I'm like, that's BS, man. If the radical thinkers didn't invent this stuff, you wouldn't even be around.
True. Yeah.
So don't disrespect the folks who kind of invented their thing because you're like, oh, they're going to go to jail, whatever nonsense. It's a brand new technology. People are going to react in different ways, including our governments. Now, what's surprising to me is when I got into it full time, I did not think it would take 10 years and we would still not have regulation in the United States.
Yeah.
I dealt with the SEC at NASDAQ and other companies that I ran, and I was just like, what is going on here? Then the whole lawfare thing, them suing people, and then losing the lawsuit. The SEC, that when I was at NASDAQ, they never lost.
They never lost. Memories, if you remember, this was about at the end of the ICO days, and you and Michael, I think you guys got together, and you had done events like in New York and some high rise or whatever, and you put a whole bunch of VCs together, right? And the ICO comes in and pitches in front of everybody, right? Remember those days?
Yeah.
And it was like the Wild West, because you could sit back if you were on a fly on the wall and listen to what they were saying. Some were saying, hey, let's replace the fiat currency. It was wild stuff going on.
They were coming up with very big ideas.
At the same token, we were embracing them, right? Yeah. We weren't scoffing at them. We're like, look, this is what paves the way of these crazy ideas.
Yeah, no one's going to ever, this is like venture opportunity, the tokenization thing, is this secure? So I also explain this to folks who are mostly from the TradFi world, but understand tech, like FinTech type people. If they don't understand blockchain or Bitcoin or anything, I'll say, look, Bitcoin is like the mother, like it was the first invented version that really worked. E-money's been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. And what happened after that is they created a new technology that could be applied as a utility, a reward, a mile program, a security, a bond. I was like, the technology has nothing to do with the asset class. Mm-hmm. we're creating the asset classes on top of the tech.
Right.
The problem is that the tech can be hybrid. Both, you can feel like it's a security, but it may not, but it's also a pre-sale on a product, but it also runs a network, but it also does this. So this one product that used to be separated is now all combined into this contract, and it doesn't have a name. So when I explain it that way, people are like, oh. I'm like, yeah, you have to separate the tech stack from the application.
Right.
And then, and then it clicks.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, all they hear is crypto scams. And now they're adopting Bitcoin, but they don't even know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a wealth manager. I have a few friends that are like wealth manager types, but one especially, he made me laugh so much when he said to me, he goes, it's fairy dust. He goes, I don't get it. It's like trading fairy dust. And I'm like, so's the US dollar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
like the US dollar isn't the same strength that it had.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, we wouldn't be Bitcoin wouldn't have happened. I was explaining this to people. Bitcoin would never have happened, or this whole business would never have happened if the 2008 credit crisis didn't happen.
Yeah.
Where the institutions that we were raised to trust with our most important assets for our family, wealth, for our way of life, those institutions decided to screw us all.
Yeah.
So we didn't start this fight.
Yeah. No.
We started the fight.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, this is a short interview. We've got one last question for you. You're obviously representing this company here.
So this is my company.
Your company. Tell us about this.
So I built fintech platforms and dashboards since the 90s. I built CityFX, the first version of that. I built the market intelligence desk at NASDAQ. I built a bunch of systems there. I ran corporate solutions there. I built stuff at other companies like TFK and so on, 5,000 corporate clients or 5,000 buy-side investors. And what I realized is in the digital asset space, we don't have a proper terminal. So, and I also said, I was like, it's not going to be the same way. So it's modular. It's AI wrapped because you can run the AI SU locally, so it's following you around. It also is completely modular, so you can literally ask the AI a question, and when it gives you the answer, it starts to create charts and such, or a news feed, and then you can add it as a module onto your desktop. You can move it around, and then you can set a timer and say, I want you to ask this same question every day.
Wow.
Or every minute.
Yeah.
Or every second. And it'll just, so I build modules. We have the proof of concept. So actually Google startup, they funded the actual POC.
Nice.
Now we're out there raising capital on the, but we need the desktop.
Yeah.
We need this platform. And everyone's a customer.
Yeah.
Everybody's a customer, and everyone's a partner. We have actually curated probably about 20 to 25 different partners.
Yeah.
Because we have two funds, and we're their customers. So we use these platforms already.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Dig it. Well, you did well today speaking, and we're glad you're here at Tokenize, and it was good to see you again, and all success, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.